Welcome to the Spectrum 360 Election Special. I'm Ashley Nkupsa.
And I'm Hannah Stein. We have a few segments in store for you today. Our features editor puts together a rundown of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton's policies and platforms.
Our arts editors will give you the presidential scoop on celebrity endorsements. We'll also take you through the local candidate issues and a few other election tidbits.
This election has been described by students as crazy, concerning, and controversial. Let's turn it over to Max and David for celebrity views on the election.
I'm Max Galnitz, Senior Arts Editor at The Spectrum.
I'm David Tunis Garcia, Assistant Arts Editor.
And this is Artsy Talk. The 2016 presidential election has been heavily focused on the media, with claims from Trump saying the election is rigged, while Clinton is doing everything in her power to stop her opponent.
The candidates appear to care more about their news headlines than the actual election. The media has played a huge role in determining America's vote, with the help of some of the nation's biggest celebrities.
Most big-name celebrities have endorsed Clinton, including George Clooney, Emma Roberts, Katy Perry, Anne Hathaway, and many others have shown their support through interviews and social media.
Clinton has had LeBron James, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, as well as President Obama, appear at rallies in recent weeks. With many Americans unsure of who to vote for this Tuesday, the support of stars like these may influence more Americans to go out and vote.
Trump has complained about the media swaying the popular vote. He has received support from some B-list celebrities such as Chuck Norris, Mike Tyson, Tom Brady, and Rex Ryan. After a slew of derogatory tapes were released, even those who did support Trump have chosen to stick with Clinton.
This year's election has commonly been referred to as a joke. Stars such as Alec Baldwin and Kate McKinnon have made fun of the two on Saturday Night Live. Dave Chappelle, who will be hosting this week's episode, recently shocked fans, stating his support for Trump. At a recent comedy show, he said, "She's not right, and we all know it," referring to Hillary Clinton.
College students make up a large portion of young voters. While celebrity endorsements have always been a part of politics, and their fame can shine light on important issues, who they support shouldn't determine who you vote for.
Our senior features editor, Ken Thomas, broke down the cost of the presidential campaign for each candidate for the election edition of Money Talk.
Hi, I'm Ken Thomas. I'm the senior features editor for the UV Spectrum, and this is Money Talk. With the election coming to a close, this is already the most expensive presidential election we've ever experienced. As of mid-October, both candidates have raised $2 billion combined, with Clinton raising $1.3 billion and Trump raising $795 million. Individually, the campaigns have raised $556 million and $248.3 million for Clinton and Trump, respectively, with their fundraising committees raising $544.4 million and $486.7 million. Clinton's campaign has spent 35% or $455 million of her funds paying her 500 consultants and support staff. Comparatively, Trump spends $705,444 or 18% on payroll. Trump has spent more on his private aircraft and hats and t-shirts. He spent $723,426 on his private aircraft and spent $678,000 on his hats and t-shirts. While proper funding of a campaign is pivotal, unknown variables like Clinton's email investigators can be a thorn in the side of a campaign. We've seen her elite dissolve with the opening of this new investigation. Trump has shown that he can achieve success by spending much less on his adversary, but the failings of his staff are readily apparent. Clinton's campaign, while well-funded, is finding itself too close for comfort in national polls. The turnout of the election can disrupt both the political climate, but also how campaigns are conducted in the future.
More segments of Money Talk can be found on uvspectrum.com.
My name is Evan Grizzly. I'm the features editor for the UV Spectrum, and today we're just going to do a breakdown of the candidate stances in the upcoming election. For the economy, Trump wants to create over 25 million jobs. To do this, he's going to do a reform policy for a pro-growth tax plan, a new modern regulatory framework, so creating new jobs that way, and America First trade policy, meaning bringing corporations into America rather than having our jobs be shipped out of the country as he was quoted. Next is Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton plans to raise the pay for the middle class, raise the pay for minimum wage, and increase the middle class. She hopes to tax the wealthy, their fair share, so that we can then create a middle class through that, and making sure that the wealthy, Wall Street, and corporations pay their fair share in taxes. For the environment, Trump plans to cut the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, completely. He also plans to enforce an eminent domain, which is the government's ability to take private land and make it public, and in that, through that, he says that will be able to create jobs. some things in some current corporations involved with that. It has to do with fracking, oil drilling, and being able to take private land for government use. For Hillary, she wants to create green energy jobs, creating jobs through helping the environment and to build on the Paris Agreement. She was quoted by saying, "Conserving our biodiversity is essential to our quality of life." Trump supports the Second Amendment, and he plans to enforce that. Trump wants to elect Supreme Court justices into office that will enforce the Second Amendment. He also wants to make sure that no people on the terrorist watch list are able to get guns, and he has been quoted by saying that mass shootings are due to mental illness. He was also quoted saying, "No limit on guns, they save lives." When it comes to Hillary Clinton on gun control, she supports the Second Amendment but also understands the danger of guns in this country. Arming people is not an appropriate response to terrorism. She's quoted by saying she wants to respect the Second Amendment but also close any loopholes there are within the Second Amendment currently. And then reverse gun manufacturer immunity, meaning that gun manufacturers will then become liable for a lawsuit rather than not being able to get sued. And then when it comes to abortion, Trump wants to defund Planned Parenthood altogether. He does not support abortion. He says Planned Parenthood is important, but abortions must stop. Hillary Clinton, she stands up for Planned Parenthood. She agrees that women have a right over their own body, and she is for safe and legal abortions.
Local candidates for Congress, State Senate, State General Assembly, and District Attorney are also on the ballot for the 2016 election.
We now turn to our staff writer, Maddie Fowler, with a rundown of local elections.
Let's take a look at the local races in UB's district. Brian Higgins is the Democratic candidate for Congressional District 26, while Shelley Schratz is the Republican candidate for the same position. Higgins' platform is based on investing in infrastructure, reducing student debt, raising the minimum wage, enforcing pay equity for women, and maintaining and revitalizing local waterfronts. Schratz supports term limits, reduced government spending, removing government regulation on small businesses, repealing Common Core, and implementing school choice programs. The candidates for New York Senate District 61 are incumbent Republican Senator Michael Ranzenhofer and Democrat Thomas Loughran. Ranzenhofer supports lowering property taxes, repealing Common Core, investing in community colleges, and legislation to help farmers. Loughran's plan supports campaign finance reform, term limits, and addressing corruption. Incumbent Republican Raymond Walter and Democrat Stephen Meyer are running for New York Assembly District 146. Walter's website says his primary issues are lowering taxes, governmental ethics reform, and removing regulations on small businesses. Meyer supports investing in renewable energy, campaign finance reform, and reforming tax codes that Meyer says benefits the 1% at the expense of the middle class. Democrat John Flynn and conservative Joseph Trenor are running for Erie County District Attorney. Flynn's primary issues include campaign finance reform, addressing public corruption, and reforming the district attorney's office so it's more representative of the community, according to his website. Trenor currently works on pro bono cases for veterans and considers himself an attorney and not a politician.
Here's Tori's opinion on why it's super important for college students to get out there and vote.
I'm Tori Roseman, managing editor at The Spectrum, and I'm here to tell you that you have to vote. You have to do it, because we're finally at the point where we can vote. Isn't this what you were waiting for? Didn't you discuss the Obama elections in high school and middle school? Weren't you so excited to have that opportunity for yourself? And I know it might seem hard. I mean, now that we're here, it's either Trump or Clinton for the most part, and neither of those options seem great. But then we've got Gary Johnson, who, can have a heart attack any moment. Or we've got Jill Stein, who seems moderately inexperienced. So basically we've got 4 candidates who don't look great. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't vote. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't participate in the process. The process is the most important part. And sure, maybe your particular vote isn't going to be the reason why Trump wins, or the reason why Clinton wins. Sure, maybe not even our school's population vote is going to be why one of the candidates wins over the other. But aren't you going to look back 50, 60 years from now when your grandchildren are asking you about the election? When people who didn't live through the Trump-Clinton election are asking you about it? And what are you going to say? Nah, I didn't vote. Nah, it wasn't worth it. I didn't want to be part of it. I didn't believe in either candidate. You know what? That's okay. If you choose not to vote, that's your choice. But if you choose not to vote, how could you possibly complain about anything that happens? How could you possibly complain about the results if you don't participate in the actual action of it? As millennials, we make up about the same percentage of the voter population as the baby boomers, so our parent generation, which means that we have a decent say. Doesn't that mean something? Doesn't that mean something to you to hear that people in your age group can actually make a difference? And it seems that millennials are the people who are most disenfranchised with the system. They don't believe in the two-party system, yet they have no confidence in third-party candidates. Isn't this the time to make a change? Isn't this the time to make a difference? Listen, maybe this election is a wash. Maybe there's nothing that we can do and that our country's doomed and the world's going to end. But in case it doesn't, think about this. 4 years from now, we're going to have to do it all over again. We're going to go through this whole process all over again. Maybe it'll go a little bit smoother, but maybe it won't. Does that mean that you should never participate? Should this one election that is revered as one of the most abnormal elections in the entire history of the United States, don't let this impact your voting habits. Don't let this be the reason why you don't participate. So please, whether it's Clinton, whether it's Trump, whether it's Stein, whether it's Johnson, whether you're writing in Bernie Sanders, please, if you have the ability, please vote.
Many UB students will be casting their vote for the first time this election day.
Students can vote at various polling locations depending on where they live. Polling information can be found on our website at ubspectrum.com. For more information, visit our website, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram.
Thank you for watching this Spectrum 360 election special. Be sure to check us out next week for your weekly update on campus news.